very, very good source to kind of show what's happening as terms of the rotation in the mid and upper levels. I'll slow this down for you where you can see right in here. Let me take this right back for you. Right here where you can see a little bit of rotation begin to happen within this thunderstorm cell. So do we have, Taylor, do we have a camera out there, let's say maybe Put-in-Bay, if we can pop that up, I want to see exactly what's happening out there. Yep, that is that thunderstorm system that is causing this tornado warning to now go in effect. This is over at our Put-in-Bay camera right now. If we have one over in maybe it's Sandusky or Catawba, that would be great to show that as well. But again, in this Doppler wind velocity, again, is showing that we do have some rotation happening within this thunderstorm system right now. One of, again, the major threats that we're going to be dealing with in addition to this tornado warning is very, very high wind gusts. This is reminiscent of what we were talking about last Thursday as Betsy and I did that coverage that afternoon into the evening. We've got a lot of heat that has sort of moved into the area, taking residence over across northeast Ohio, that is prompting a lot of this energy to really fire here. That cold front is necessary for us because that'll cool us off a little bit, but you have one thing that moves in and that can really upend a lot of the changes here in the atmosphere. Taylor, I believe you said we have a Sandusky camera right now. If we could just pop that up here too. And that also helped me reset. So again, that energy is not too far away from this source right now. If we can pull back up on radar, Taylor, I want to show sort of this eastward movement. This thunderstorm system is moving roughly about 30, 35 miles per hour. So this is our resonance here, and it's moving eastward too. So our Port Clinton residents, our Danbury residents, our Sandusky residents, all within the next half hour, 20 to 30 minutes tops, with Fairview lanes likely be in the mix of that as well. Rye Beach, again, following through suit with that. Next 45 minutes, again, this is that tornado warning that's in effect for these residents here over the Put-in-Bay, Catawba Island region. This area here is a prime source for a lot of humidity right now. It's sort of a target region for these thunderstorms that are moving through. And we can also expect that if you know anybody out on Lake Erie, this is a beautiful lake day, but this is going to rock the lake waters. They're currently roughly about 1 to 2 feet in sort of our wave heights. We can easily get at least 3 to 5 feet as these thunderstorms are racing. Monica Robbins is a great sort of good friend of mine. We're desk mates, and she always describes Lake Erie as sort of a bathtub. You get one thunderstorm moving through and it just rocks the entire lake. But again, we're watching all elements of the system as it races eastward across the area, prompting some really, really, really high wind gusts and very, very heavy rain. This is, again, the leading edge of a strong frontal boundary that is going to be marching through the area for the rest of the evening into northeast Ohio, coming in waves too. So we're expecting a line of thunderstorm systems to come through within the next 30, 45 minutes, and then we'll have another wave that we're also going to be expecting to come through as well shortly thereafter, around the 9, 10, 11 p.m. hour for us this afternoon. So again, we're watching some very high wind gusts. We have a severe thunderstorm warning also in effect for some of our residents over towards the west, but that tornado warning again is taking prime real estate and prime target region for us over the next 30 to 35 minutes. As of right now, this is radar indicated. It was located originally near the Put-in-Bay region roughly about 5-10 minutes ago, and National Weather Service said, okay, this looks like it has the ability to really put down a little bit of rotation here. Earlier, I misspoke actually, and I'm going to correct that for you right now. That severe thunderstorm warning that was in effect, that was roughly 30 to 35 miles per hour. But what has happened with this tornado warning, this is moving actually at about 65 miles per hour. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to edit this tracking for you, and then we can get that back up on radar so you can see that happening with this line. So again, this is going to be that leading edge of that line, and just a little bit of generic for you, but this gives you some sort of sense here. So we'll actually, what this will do is actually speed this timeline up for you. Let's see here, there we go, right there. Going to drag this out with that eastward movement. So it's only picking up Danbury, obviously, because this is moving over the waters here. But again, for some of our areas near Sandusky specifically, this is more of an east-southeast movement here. But again, all of our residents eastward going from Sandusky all the way down to Huron, Vermilion, Lorain County, they're going to be catching wind of this very shortly but surely. And even if you're along the coastline, you're probably going to see over in this area the skies darkening as a result of this onslaught of very wet weather and also very strong thunderstorms racing through the area. So again, we are watching right now a lot of energy riding right into our viewer region. You can see a lot of lightning that has really kind of popped up in this area as well. We're getting lots of lightning strikes, hundreds of lightning strikes moving eastward here. This is including the Catawba Island as well as Put-in-Bay region for the next 30 minutes watching this thunderstorm system. And if you are looking at your TV screen right now, being recorded at Cleveland Hopkins, 89-degree temperatures. Those feels like temperatures across the area right now are also surging into the 90s. Look at that. It feels like 92 right now in Elyria. It feels like 91 and 94 degrees over in Dover. We are knocking on the door of really some high heated areas. National Weather Service, let's see here. Okay, so it looks like Kelly's Island is not really necessarily in the mix, but again, Kelly's Island is not really one of those areas that fully is outside of all this action here. But as we are covering this right now, this is also a great time to remind everyone that in the event that we do have active weather such as this, it is always good to be reminded of your safety plans, interior rooms of your houses. Also make sure that you are limiting yourself from outdoor windows as well as any sort of debris that could be lofted or pushed, even outdoor lawn furniture that could also be pushed into the region as well. Matt Wentz is here, our senior meteorologist, and he is here to also aid in some of this coverage for me as well too, Matt.
Yeah, Jason, I mean, absolutely covering that storm as it's moving in to areas of the islands. I mean, this is what we're looking at. Let's just kind of level set where we are right now in terms of the severe weather. There's a large complex of storms. We've been tracking this and advertising this over the last day or so. This is rolling out of Michigan and areas of western Ohio. There's nothing in advance of this. So we've got just the hazy skies in Cleveland out to Ashtabula down towards the Akron area. This cluster of storms has had a history of producing damaging winds all the way back into Michigan and northern Indiana. There is a massive amount of wind energy with this. It's tapping into not just low-level wind, but wind in the mid and upper levels as well. And that is going to be the problem with the storm system as it continues to track out towards the east. So what Jason's been discussing has been that tornado warning out towards the islands. Kelly Island getting hit pretty hard right now. That tornado warning was on the leading edge of the wind that was coming out. There was likely a quick spin up, whether that was over water or whether it wasn't. That remains to be seen. But that was the issue for the tornado warning, which looks like it's now been allowed to expire. But this is still going to be a huge threat to our northern counties tonight because at the leading edge of this line, as it moves into Marblehead, Sandusky, probably another 15 minutes for you, there is a massive amount of wind. And this is exactly what we're looking at here. These blues indicating anywhere from probably 60 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts as this thing comes in. So it is going to be more like a hurricane as it moves in. Jason, Peyton, thanks for getting those numbers up for me. You notice some of these numbers coming in, 60, 70 miles per hour. Would not be surprised if there's gusts over 70 within this. Again, the wind is spilling out of this system over the islands right now. Taylor, if we have any of those view from the shores cams right now, Put-in-Bay, let's pull that up because they are probably getting rocked right now. And you can see it. I mean, this is a live shot. This looks like hurricane coverage here in northeast Ohio. That is how this storm is going to behave as it moves across our northern counties. You can see the flags there in the distance. Visibility is way down. I'm sure the waves are choppy as well. And the bulk of that wind has already moved through this location. So this is behind that initial gust of wind, but just some really rough weather that's going to come in very quickly. You heard Jason mentioning earlier that these storms are moving anywhere from 40 to 65 miles per hour. So they're moving at highway speeds from east to west. So this will slip into the Sandusky area. And you look, someone trying to check on the docks there. Not the time to be doing that. Reason why we've got prolific lightning with this. So let's take back the weather computer again. We'll look at this storm system in its whole as it continues to track out towards the east. Again, this is it. What you see on radar here, this is heavy rain. This doesn't tell you if it's severe or not. But when we look inside of that, we can see the wind. We can also see the lightning. And there is a lot of that as this continues to track east. So where do we go from here? Let's level set, right? We've got our severe thunderstorm watch out for our northern counties. That stretches from Cleveland out towards the Ashtabula area. The warning has been allowed to expire. That's good news. But this line will track through our northern counties. Expect wind damage if you're in Erie, northern Huron County, and eventually Lorain County after that. Certainly going to be a rough go of it here this evening. Jason's got you covered on this show. I've got the 5, and Peyton's got you covered on the 6. As a whole, we've got you covered here in Northeast Ohio to get through these strong storms.
All right, wow. Thank you so much for keeping us up to date on that. We know that you'll be back with us soon to update us as we continue to have more of this kind of severe weather. Matt, thanks. All right, now at 4, we want to go to Lakewood, where hundreds of residents aren't getting what they paid for. We're talking air conditioning in an apartment with windows sealed shut.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks, and with these rising temperatures, residents aren't happy. Lindsay Buckingham reports.
Oh, it is now 86 degrees.
The thermostat in Tony Prusak's apartment says it all.
The tough part here is the windows, because it's a converted building, do not open.
86 degrees in